Whom does Chuchaister pursue? Who provides protection to miners underground? Which mythical spirit safeguards cursed treasures in the Carpathian Mountains? How can one raise a dog capable of hunting witches? And what accounts for the abundance of devils in Ukrainian mythology? Hello, I'm Nick Lysytsky. This is Encyclopedia of Ukrainian Mythology, a show about incredible characters and extraordinary phenomena. And the heroes of today's episode are Chuchaister, Shubin, Sheznik, Judas, and Yarchuk. Chuchaister, a mythical hero hailing from the Ukrainian Carpathian Mountains. Chuchaister appears as a broad-shouldered man, tall as a spruce tree, covered in thick gray fur. He resides in the forests where he takes care of the animals and protects young loggers and shepherds who work in the mountains from naiads and nymphs. Moreover, Chuchaister is a jolly and sociable character. He enjoys sitting by the fire, talking about life, playing the flute, and dancing with the exuberance of a whirlwind. The origins of Chuchaister are veiled in mystery, with Hutsuls claiming him to be a cursed individual. According to the legend, long ago one neighbor laid a curse upon another, and ever since Chuchaister has dwelt in the Carpathians, impervious to harm from either man or beast. Chuchaister rules over all the animals. He protects them, and they carry out various tasks for him. For instance, he dispatches the fox or wolf to fetch water. In the forest, Chuchaister frequently hunts naiads to thwart them from leading young men astray. He conceals himself among dry leaves or coils up like a ball, and upon capturing one, he rips her apart, roasts her, and consumes her. Shepherds and loggers, when preparing their meals, consistently reserve a portion for Chuchaister in their cabins. If the food vanishes by evening, it serves as an assurance that Chuchaister has visited, signifying that there are no naiads in the vicinity. Chuchaister is also concerned about the availability of water within houses. It's believed that during the night he ventures to houses to verify if there's an adequate water supply. If there's a shortage, he may, as a form of retribution, take away a child from the careless homeowner. Typically, Chuchaister treats humans with great kindness. If you meet him in the forest, he may sing or extend an invitation to dance. However, caution is warranted. Chuchaister dances so vigorously that an unprepared dancer may lose their shoes and their heart. Nevertheless, a proficient dancer is aptly rewarded. Chuchaister is capable of aiding and instructing craftsmen who encounter difficulties in their work. There are also stories of him as a protector of the poor. In one legend, he came to the aid of a poor servant who was mistreated by his master. Chuchaister sent a bear after the master, who ran so fast that he lost his clothes. Chuchaister can become taller than a spruce tree or shorter than the grass, and he can even assume the form of a whirlwind. The only thing Chuchaister fears is an axe. By placing an axe before him with the blade facing upward, one can hold this giant with just 2 fingers and compel him to reveal the future. Shubin, a mythical figure hailing from the eastern Ukrainian region of Donbass. He's a mining spirit, or as they also call him, the mine master, a helper and guardian of miners. Shubin is typically portrayed as a short man in a fur coat carrying a lantern. Mentions of Shubin are prevalent across the territories of Donetsk and Lugansk regions, particularly in areas with coal or salt mines. Numerous legends recount the origins of Shubin. According to one tale, Shubin is the benevolent spirit of a mine supervisor who unfailingly looked after his workers. One fateful day, he descended into the mine for an inspection and became disoriented, subsequently losing his way. Since then, his apparition has dwelt within the mines, persistently safeguarding and assisting the miners. According to another, Shubin is the nickname of a miner who was punished for participating in strikes. He was left in chains underground, and when they returned after some time, the chains were intact, but the body had disappeared. Since then, they say the spirit of Shubin roams and helps miners. The most prevalent legend tells us that Shubin is the spirit of a miner who worked as a gas burner and died. Since ventilation in the mines was nearly non-existent at that time, the gas burner would wear a wet sheepskin coat, carry a torch, and enter the mine to burn off pockets of methane. If there was little gas, it would burn quickly. If there was a lot, it would explode. The only salvation was the wet coat. Miners still believe today that Shubin is a benevolent spirit who protects them. With the sound of footsteps, a rumble, or laughter, he warns miners of impending danger. Those who listen to his advice can avoid it. It was said that sometimes Shubin would grab miners by the legs and prevent them from going into danger zones. If miners were trapped under collapses or in fires, Shubin would lead them to a fresh air supply, showing the way with the lantern's light. To appease Shubin, miners leave a portion of their meal in the mine galleries. For a long time, Shubin was considered a figment or an evil Russian demon. However, in 2023, a significant event occurred. Legends regarding Shubin were officially recognized and included in the Register of the Intangible Cultural Heritage of the Donetsk region. Consequently, it is now firmly established that Shubin is indeed a Ukrainian mythical hero. Sheznik, a character from Hutzul mythology. According to one version, he appears as a young man with a sharp beard, horns, and goat-like legs, somewhat resembling a faun. Adding to the similarity is Sheznik's love for playing the floyara, a Ukrainian folk wind instrument similar to a flute. Nevertheless, their outward appearance and affinity for music are the sole similarities shared by these mythical beings. As per Carpathian beliefs, Sheznik is unequivocally identified as a much like the One, a character we previously discussed. Sheznik serves as an alternative name for a devil. In this context, the term Sheznik, or Shezbui, emerged as a form of incantation which would cause the evil spirit to vanish, Sheznut, or even better, refrain from manifesting altogether. Sheznik was widely believed to serve as a guardian of cursed treasures, particularly those associated with maledictions or violent acts. He was able to induce baseless fear in people and conjure illusions resembling raging nearby fires, entice them into the forest, and even inflict disease. At times, Sheznik was also referred to as Kholovanets, a domestic assistant devil obtainable via sorcerers. To protect themselves from Shezniks, inhabitants of the Ukrainian Carpathians tried carving, scorching, or painting a tar cross upon their household doors. Judases, Yudniki, mythical attendants of the supreme deity of the underworld, Arignik. If you've been watching our episodes and feel like there are just too many devils in Ukrainian mythology, well, you're not entirely mistaken. Judas is yet another devil, a character straight from Hutzul folklore. Ukrainian mythology indeed boasts an array of names for devils and demons. However, in many cases, these names don't merely serve as synonyms, instead they represent distinct diabolical figures, each with their own narratives, attributes, and behaviors. This proliferation of devilish characters may be linked to the influence of Christianity, which labeled all ancient deities and spirits as devils and spent centuries attempting to obliterate their memory. As a result, the ancient beliefs were largely forgotten, but the mythical images somehow endured, albeit in somewhat altered forms. Much like Herod, whose video you can also find on our channel, Judas is a demonological figure that melds folk knowledge of Judas Iscariot, the apostle of Jesus Christ who betrayed his teacher, with notions of malevolent demons. Legend has it that Arignik created Judas by shaking water from his fingers. All the droplets that descended to the earth transformed into Judases. Since then, Judases have coexisted with humans, executing the commands of their leader. They dwell in forests, beneath the trees, near fields, wander through villages, and manifest wherever there is discord, deceit, and negligence. According to the lore, Judases may even infiltrate churches, where they induce drowsiness in people or incite them to engage in laughter and animated conversation. Yarchuk, a mythical dog, a guardian against evil forces. Among other dogs, Yarchuk stands out with its black fur and sharp wolf-like fangs, which it can use to bite or even slay witches. This is precisely why witches and sorcerers dread Yarchuks and make every effort to locate and eliminate them when they are still young puppies. Yarchuk is a pup from the third generation of female dogs that first mated with a male. Consequently, breeding Yarchuk is quite challenging and time-consuming. Nonetheless, safeguarding this remarkable creature is even more arduous, as witches can sense its presence and will stop at nothing to eliminate it as soon as it is born, even infiltrating households. The most reliable method of preserving a future Yarchuk is to dig a pit, place the pup inside it, and then cover the pit with a harrow, typically made of alder, which witches dread. Once Yarchuk reaches 1 year of age, it is no longer afraid of any evil. Instead, it becomes a threat to all wicked beings. It can see evil spirits that are invisible to the human eye and detect the presence of witches from a distance. If Yarchuk bites a witch, she can anticipate protracted and agonizing suffering, as wounds inflicted by its bites are incurable. However, more often than not, the dog spares sorceresses by dispatching them instantly. Additionally, aside from witches and other malevolent forces, Yarchuk can also vanquish wolves, bears, and snakes. Be sure to enable notifications to stay updated with our latest content, and help us by sharing our project with your friends and acquaintances. Your support in promoting Ukrainian mythology worldwide is greatly appreciated.